You're not, are we re-electing a board chair and vice chair?
Yeah, no, that's,
Not yet.
no,
Is there something I did?
no.
So we can, so do we,
I corrected, if you look in your packets, you've got the
Right.
corrected agenda. So that matches the numbers on your memo.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so we'll go with the privilege of the floor, number one. Rich, you got anything for us? All right, so we'll move ahead to approve the minutes. The minutes of March 22nd.
I have a few changes.
All right, Bill?
All right, line 73, Brooke Wakefield responds to concern expressed by the BOS. I changed that to a question
Yeah.
raised by the BOS. I don't think it was much
It
of a
wasn't a
concern. It was more of a question. And then 161, it doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense down there. So I would suggest that we delete after "and" on 161.
After the one,
Yeah, the
7.
last part of the sentence, "and we're paying on for about 1 year," doesn't, I don't know what that means,
We can
but
throw
I
it.
take it off.
okay,
And then 162, I would just modify that we separately bonded a total of 692,000, so it's not confused with the the rural development loan bonding. All right?
All right, separate.
Other than that, I'm okay.
All right, and Margaret, anything? Yeah, the only thing I had was that concern word, but I was taking care of that, was fine.
Okay?
All right, so is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a
the-
motion to approve the minutes as amended.
I'll second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll move to the minutes of the workshop on March 31st.
I had no questions or comments regarding those.
No.
I thought it was very well done. Thank you, Sharon. That was kind of complex.
Yeah.
It took a while. Good job on
there
that.
was, yeah, a lot
So-
of conversation.
Yes, but specific conversations.
There was.
So is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 31st? as
So
written?
moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done. Okay. Financial, I didn't have anything that
No,
took me by
we're
surprise.
doing pretty well.
All right, so if there's nothing and no questions, we'll move on. Department head updates? Chris, do you need to go someplace to get you out of here?
Never know.
Hope not, right?
No, it's been quiet. The mountain's shut down for at least, well, it'll be open this weekend, but kind of wrapping up from that
Yep.
ski season, getting
Yeah.
stuff ready for spring, and other than that, we're just cleaning up, focused on training and things like that. Other than that, there's nothing.
This is about as quiet a time of the year as you get, right?
Yeah, I don't use the Q word too often, but.
Yeah, in fact, last night, did you hear that one of those planes that was flying around broke the sound barrier?
Yeah.
And
That's-
and when I first heard it, I said, "Oh no, another propane
Right,
explosion."
yeah.
Yep.
But we did have a lost hiker on Welsh Dickey last night, so you never
Oh.
know.
Oh.
Ah,
Nobody hurt, they just couldn't find their way out, so we had to go help.
well, that's snow. That's still got to be all snow covered. Those
Yeah,
trails,
and
right?
that's the thing, that down on the north side on the Dickey ledges,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
north side of Dickey, it's all deep snow, so they can't see the trail markings and the
Right.
post hole, and there's no tracks because they all get melted away during the day. So
How'd
that's
they
what
even get up there with snowshoes or
no,
crampons or something?
that's another problem they had, was they didn't have, they were in
Lanes.
sneakers, so they went around, they tried to go around the where the trail was, and
Like
they
I'm
just
doing
get turned
so
around
much
and
work the other
lost.
day.
But,
Oh,
How long did it take to find him?
well, we knew right where they were because they, the GPS on their phone.
Yeah.
So we found them as soon as they called, and we
Yeah.
knew where they were. It was just guiding them. It was a couple hours to guide them out.
Now, were you able to guide them out on the phone, talking to them, or you had to?
Probably that would have happened, but it would have taken a little longer. So, so we just went up and,
Yeah.
and found them.
Who went up?
Jeff and Rob, I believe, and there was someone, Campton.
send the drone up.
And
Tell
you-
them follow the drone.
And you don't call Fish and Game and that?
Oh, we do. We
Oh.
have to.
Oh, you do?
They said don't even bother going up. Just have them
One way or the other.
No, because, no, Fish and Game looks at it as they don't want a bunch of rescuers putting themselves at risk. going
Yeah,
up
right.
For really essentially not an emergency.
Right.
But our view of it is, let's get this done and over with.
Yeah.
And not have to wait for hours for them to find their way out themselves.
All right, good. All right, a question for you. A few weeks ago, there was a dog incident. Has the owner of that dog been notified? And is that being resolved or any?
Yeah, so, for any dog bites, it's a mandatory, $100 fine.
Yeah,
So that's been taken care of and issued.
okay.
This is a repeat offender. I know of at least 4 men
Yeah,
that this dog has bitten. And I'm wondering whether we can go a little further and say that the dog has to wear a muzzle when it's in public.
Yeah, we can't require that under law, we can't. And I think we only have one documented official.
Really?
Which was, yeah, maybe, yeah. So,
So you didn't report yours then?
well, I know someone else who hasn't reported
Right.
two bites.
Yeah.
so, you know, if it's reported, then yes, we actually can take further steps, but so far it's one offense.
Okay.
And if in broad strokes, if we have repeat offending dogs that are vicious, eventually we end up bringing the owner or keeper of the dog to court. And letting
What
a
can the
judge
court
decide.
do?
A
Can the
judge-
court order the dog destroyed?
They can.
All right.
It's not a popular decision, and they don't usually do that, but they do have that authority.
Okay.
Typically,
But they
it's,
could muzzle them maybe.
yeah, yes,
Right.
Yes.
yeah. But we personally can't muzzle.
Okay.
We don't have the authority to do
So that has to go to a court and a
Yeah.
judge. So we can just issue the fine and that's it? And the second?
Right, and we can issue a must appear summons
Yeah.
too, if we want to, or if we decide to, which would happen if there was another incident, we'd issue a must appear in court.
It's really sad because that is a beautiful, smart dog
Mhm.
that just needs something different in their lives, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Anything, everybody else is healthy, all the equipment's healthy?
So far, so good.
Excellent.
Yep.
And everyone, have they finished the recertifications?
Yes, the state's a little slow in telling us
Okay.
that, but, yes, everybody's done.
Excellent.
So while we're on the dog, are we going to talk about, Dave had recommended at some point that we ban animals from all public facilities, or there was a rumor to that effect, or nothing?
No.
Well, there was
Okay,
a rumor that.
fine. There was a rumor out there.
Ann at the post office told people that Dave came in and said, we are going to start on
Effective
April
April
1st. We will, this is what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
it
out
was
there.
thrown,
was-
it was thrown around a little
Yeah.
bit, but it wasn't, there was nothing ever.
Fine,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
good.
we-
good.
Okay.
It was like, what are some of the possible solutions to
Yeah,
this?
all right, good. It's
Yeah.
just another, well, nothing,
Well,
everything on cable's a repeat, so people have done
Yeah, yeah,
And
everything
it
yeah.
else.
actually
to
No,
go.
gotten a
absolutely.
little further than that
Yeah.
because they were discussing what goes on the sign when I found them, so.
All right, good job. All right, we'll move on to Jim. What'd you do to yourself, first of all?
Oh, I just had a little surgery,
Oh, okay.
elbow as well, so. Things are winding down for us, hopefully. We don't have any sneak attack snowstorms. Just relieving the trucks of some plows and wings and doing maintenance on those before we put them away. And starting to spruce up we're working on the sheds out here at the transfer station, so hopefully we make those look a little neater and brighter. And other than that,
Do we have load limits on the roads right now?
yes, we do.
Okay,
There have been several deliveries, one next to you that I allowed, and
Right.
one up on off of Noon Peak. But generally speaking, most of the companies are pretty good about calling in and asking whether or not they can.
Okay.
So I ask them what the load is, et cetera, et cetera. It's either yay or nay.
Okay. One of the things I noticed in our minutes from the last meeting is we were talking about maybe having to reformulate what we're gonna do with the roads this spring.
Reformulate
Yeah,
as
what
As
our-
far
far
as
what our
what's
plans
gonna
were.
get
How we're gonna,
repaved.
we might need to reprioritize and things like that.
Yeah, well, what we're doing is, we have a road inventory that,
Yeah.
we've been working on.
I'll get you an electronic copy of that.
Yeah. And, what we're going to do is, have a little more work to do as far as, putting some, traffic volume into play here and to, evaluate, the roads so that we can come up with a plan going forward, as to what types of capital outlay we should be having, or using in the future for what sections of roads in town.
Okay.
So that we can, kind of prioritize things. And that would be a living yearly thing.
Yeah.
Because things do change over time.
Right.
And
And,
Jim's gonna go over that list in detail
Okay.
with the planning board tomorrow,
Okay.
so they can start their discussions with the CIP.
Okay, great. All right.
What's an SMH?
sewer manhole.
Okay.
And we'll have another, actually Jim's gonna do another one of those lists with
Yep.
every one of our manholes.
Yep.
And other structures, so things like culverts and everything else, we'll have separate lists for those and prioritize replacement of those areas.
Several issues on the manholes. We're gonna pop every
We're
cover
gonna,
and,
we're gonna open
inspect
the
them.
manholes, look at them, and
Mm-hmm.
so we have
Sure.
a more detailed, part of that infrastructure detail that you had talked about.
We do have a little cracking on River Road. Do you notice that, Bill? It's down
Small
by-
amount,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
small,
Um,
down by Rubens.
yeah.
Because Matt always tells me about it. He told me about it several years ago and said, if you don't fix that, it's going to get bigger.
Well, that's true, and
Yeah.
that's the age-old problem up here, it's roads don't last very long, I don't think.
Yeah, and our potholes are back on the West Branch
Yeah.
Well,
Road
they're back on
Bridge.
the bridge, that's
Yeah.
Oh,
for
the-
sure.
yeah,
I
bridge
talked,
is-
I spoke with the new district ranger about that, and they're gonna get on that.
They're gonna,
As soon as the weather,
Okay.
that's their bridge, that's not
Well, I
ours.
know it's their bridge.
That's-
So
think it's
they're gonna,
almost-
they've already committed to repairing.
And we hit that 2 weeks ago, so,
what do you mean you hit that?
with, some repair patch.
Yeah, see, I don't
Wow.
think repair, I think they can just strip it.
No, they said they're gonna look at
It's-
something more long-term.
Did they say anything about what they're gonna do at Triple I Road?
Triple I Road, they have a project to replace all of the culverts, and they are gonna take, while they're out there doing that this summer,
Uh-huh,
they're gonna remove the rest of the pavement and then grade it.
yeah,
So
Oh,
it
that'd
will
be
be,
good.
it'll
that'd
be
be good,
dirt along the entire
yeah,
length.
that's good.
And they said they would give us some notice as to when that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Also, Jim, around Corcoran's Pond,
Oh, yes, we, have a little bit of a plan in the coming weeks to take, the guys down there, and we're gonna start thinning around the edge of the pond and everything, and trying to get rid of some of that brush before it gets way out of control. We're gonna start right by the bridge where Snow's Brook comes down, because we have to get rid of some of that stuff, because the roots are getting down into the concrete abutments and whatnot.
Mhm.
We need to clear those
Yeah.
things out, and then we're just gonna work our way along the pond and try to get, well, there is no access to the edges of the pond per se, because the stuff is fairly thick. The alders and the willows and stuff are down in
Right.
there, so we're gonna try and clean some of that out, and, because eventually you're gonna lose the view of
Yeah.
Town Square and everything else,
and
so.
I've spoken with Bill Cantlin about cleaning that out. He said it was fine as far as his land. We also have the 20-foot
I
easement
thought we
that goes,
owned an easement around.
we do,
We do.
a 20-foot
We actually
path.
owned a couple of feet
It's 20
along the
feet,
edge.
it's a 20-foot easement
Is it an easement or we actually own it?
Well, we own to
We
the
own it
high
and
water
grant
mark.
an easement to him,
No,
right?
well, we own, the town of Waterville Valley owns to the high water marks
Okay,
on the pond. Then the land belongs to the Waterville Company,
oh,
and we have a 20-foot path easement
right,
around the entire pond.
right,
And we also have a view shed easement that says that we can keep all of the vegetation knocked down from the road viewing out towards Town Square and Tecumseh. So we're taking out all of the trees there that have grown up and are getting too big, right up against Valley Road. And then we'll thin out and open up the area, especially by the wedding chapel, so that they have views again.
Okay.
Is that-
Can I go back to a public safety question?
Sure.
Dealing with views? There's a banner hanging from the Mexican restaurant.
They haven't taken that,
I haven't looked in the last couple of days.
Well, I mentioned it to
Okay,
Chris and he
yeah,
talked
okay, so
about
we're on top of it. It just kind of
Yeah, yeah.
detracts from
Yeah,
that
it
that
does.
no, we
postcard.
are on top of it, and I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's down.
I haven't looked
was-
at
I
it.
didn't notice today.
I'll
when
I'll
we
double
were-
check.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
All right, and same question, everybody and all
so
the.
this is on the end of the,
It's, yeah, it's on
Facing
the
the-
end to the
facing
pond,
the
so when you
pond.
drive around the pond, you
okay, you
see,
can see it off the
Yeah.
property.
and of course, my eyes aren't good enough to read what it says, but,
There's
I
probably
think it
E
says
here.
grand
Yeah.
opening or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's, they're,
Okay. But everybody's healthy, all the machinery is healthy.
So far, yep.
All right, excellent. All right.
Rec,
Yeah,
they are gonna do their Easter egg hunt on Saturday. And then their next big thing is going to be, the fishing derby and
Yeah.
Memorial Day activities, so they're planning those. They are closed from April, now I can't see the 23rd through the 30th.
Mm-hmm, okay.
They're shut down
right.
for their regular annual maintenance
And I'm
time.
assuming they're closed on Easter Sunday too.
They are.
Yeah.
They close on Easter Sunday, then they've got a week, and then they're closed for vacation week.
And the hunt is gonna be in Town Square?
I believe so.
Yeah,
that's
it
what
I
has been
believe
in the
so.
past years.
Yep.
Okay.
And they had their first 50th celebration for the summer, meeting on Friday, went very well. They've
Who's
got.
on the committee? I know that Tom
I-
Gross had volunteered.
Yes,
Who else
Tom
did
Gross
they-
is on it. I do not have the list. I'll get that for you. Um,
Cindy Powell,
Okay,
She
Brooke
talked, she
Nelson.
spoke with, yeah, you
myself,
have those notes.
Tom,
Oh, you were there.
yeah. So it was just Brooke, myself, Tom Gross, Nelson, and Cindy Powell who are present.
okay.
And it's gonna be August 5th is gonna be the big day, right?
It's gonna, no, we're gonna do it on the 12th,
On the
On the
12th.
on the 12th.
Okay,
That weekend of the 5th is the, Neil Road, the Roach, tennis
Tennis
tournament.
tournament.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Back
think,
in the
is
game.
it Neil Roach tennis tournament?
Yeah, back in
So
the game,
that's,
yeah.
that's that weekend, so they wanted it separate from that.
okay. All right, excellent, well, thank you for all that, and we'll move on to calendar review. Bill,
Well, I am not here for the next meeting, so whenever it is.
26th.
Right.
I will be here.
Okay, I will be coming back from someplace, so I will be here.
I will be back by the 10th of May,
Yeah, that's our meeting in May.
but I'm gonna miss the one on the 26th.
Okay.
Excellent. Any place fun?
Going to well, we're going to California.
See,
Well, see my son
Yeah.
and the grandkids.
Yep.
We're actually going to a place called Sea Ranch, which is about 70, 80 miles north of San Francisco on the ocean.
I think they have sea lion tamers there.
They may, it's up by the Russian River Valley. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's move on to new business. The always constant water and sewer bill.
Hey, it's quarterly, yep. Every 3 months, whether
The
we
bills
want
went
to or
out?
not. The
Any-
bills are out.
Any questions from the mailer? Do you guys get any calls on people actually reading the mailer and getting back to you with questions on what they've read?
Every now and then, but we haven't
Once in a
so
while,
far,
Okay.
so far with this one, that needs to be signed. No calls yet,
Okay.
this one. It does, these bills, these bills that went out, I put in your memos were 26% on water, 28% on sewer, and 27 on trash, so
Yeah.
we're right on budget track.
Do we still have any major delinquencies that are close to a lien on
No,
water?
actually, folks are doing a pretty good
Okay.
job, so, yep.
Okay, great. Great, then we'll move on to the Health Trust July rate adjustment.
Yep, they provided us with an update on our rates, so instead of the 8.3%, it ended up at 0.3%. That equated to a reduction of $8,296 in the total town-wide premiums. That's about half of the percentage increase, but that's because it only goes into effect
Right.
in July. So,
Right.
we still don't have any word as to whether or not they're planning for a premium holiday in August like they did a couple of years ago. But they said they would let us know. I don't anticipate any, but with such a small.
No, I would
increase.
think once they got it adjusted,
Mhm.
Yeah, they
they
would.
ought to be able
Yeah.
to get their rates sort of reflect their recent rating experience, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect to get another one.
No.
No. Well, they have in the past, but, you know,
Yeah.
every now and then, but, so we'll see, but otherwise it's good news.
Yep.
Saved us some money.
Okay. Any questions with that, anybody?
These are different plans.
Yes,
Which
there,
one?
we have 3 different plans. The lower one, the AB 20 IPDED,
Yeah.
is the one that the town pays 100% of. The AB 20 above that, with slightly higher premiums, the employees can pay the difference,
Right.
and then, so we cover the second. And then the last one is for our retirees,
Gotcha.
and that's a supplemental for Medicaid.
So that's why it's only $470.
That's why it's so much
Oh, so we
less.
continue to offer a supplemental for Medicare?
Well, we only for the public safety employees who qualify for some insurance coverages.
Well, I know we had
Maybe-
those
yeah,
employees that
okay.
went, but normally, when
In the
someone
retirement system,
retires,
in the retirement system.
do we have to provide them supplemental coverage or to
It
Medicare?
gets offered at their cost, and it's tied to what plans we are offering.
So are we just a pass-through?
We're just a pass-through. They
Meaning
pay
they're paying for
100%.
this, but we're
I
just-
That's right.
understand it. All
They
right,
pay
I
100%
understand.
of the premium.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right. Bid for the surplus generator.
So we have the 2 mobile generators that we received from military surplus. We had originally gotten these 2 or 3 years ago in an effort to utilize them for our facilities. We had electricians come in and look at them, and they don't work, so Mr. Puffer has,
What does Mr. Puffer understand that they don't
Yes.
work?
Will
Yes.
Mr. Puffer also indemnify us from any, seriously, if he tries to get these to work and hooks them up without anything else, I
We will-
want to be indemnified.
we will give him a as is, where is, no guarantee, no warranty.
But I want an indemnification because we know that these things don't work.
He
And
may
it-
be
and
doing
can't-
it for parts.
I don't know, I just would hate to have this guy hook it up, blow up his buildings.
What
Or catch
is
fire.
his, what business is he in?
He's an auto repair,
So you could
That
be
sort of
just
thing.
taking them to
Could-
scrap
It's
metal.
just scrap metal and parts.
All right, I would just take,
We'll
just figure some, I would
we'll
just take,
figure something out.
I mean, he needs to clearly understand, in our opinion, these are
he goes, oh,
useless.
he goes, oh, I've got a friend who's an electrician, we'll hook it up Sunday and it'll, set fire to the
No, I
neighborhood.
understand what you're saying.
Well, somehow the military used them, I know,
Well,
which is.
Well,
I'm not gonna get into
it
trouble
isn't
with
that,
that sense.
well, it isn't that they didn't work, they could not be
Be-
brought up to the
So
proper code.
yeah, that's the point I'm trying to.
With our buildings.
Right.
And I see what you're saying, Mike.
Yeah, and,
We'll
which
get
means
a-
he's gonna hook them right up and,
Yeah.
and merrily go along. He doesn't, cause everything else he has is not the code.
Yeah, but he didn't get everything else from us.
Yeah.
The other question I had about this, wasn't there a deal where anything we didn't use, we had to give to the, first dibs to the government to give it back?
Yeah,
Or
cause
was-
the government gonna let us
They-
take money for these?
We have to look into that.
Okay,
Alright.
I thought that if the government wanted $100 before,
Yeah.
we had to give it back, or, so,
We'll look
Okay.
into it.
all right, so we'll just follow up to make sure the government doesn't have the right to
That's
to
correct.
get it back. Or maybe Mr. Buffer can get it from the government. All right, interest abatement for the,
So are you not going to accept his bid? You can do it contingent.
contingent
Yeah,
on
the-
indemnification and the government turning
Okay.
down their right to take it back. I'll make that, motion.
I'll second it.
Let me just raise a question. We're accepting money for this. $300 is not a heck of a lot of money. Why are we accepting money? Why don't we just say, look, these things are useless. If you wanna come pick them up.
We will do that.
In accepting money, are we
Yeah.
implying
Well-
any kind of
Well, that's, you're right with,
warranty?
you're right with that. Accepting money, you have a contract. You know, if you
You
put
could-
the.
As long as you,
you could
as long
just
as
sell
we
it.
have
How
no
about, now sell it
liability.
as scrap. You can say, you can pick this up as
It's
scrap.
exactly what I was gonna say, you sell it as scrap.
Yeah, sell it to him as, give it to him as scrap for nothing.
Well, I don't mind selling it
Okay.
for $300
All
for
right.
scrap, but he
Yeah.
understands, in our opinion, it's
All right.
scrap.
Yes,
Fine, scrap.
that takes care of a lot of things.
So we will include the words for scrap.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to give Mark the authority to sell this, sell it as scrap for $300.
Would you second that, Margaret?
I will second it.
It's all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now,
We
Mr.
already had a motion that
Oh, we
you
did?
made and I seconded
Mhm.
and we didn't
But I
vote
withdraw,
on
I
it.
withdraw my initial motion.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
This is like town meeting.
Yeah.
Nice. Good catch, Mark.
Oh, we're gonna amend the motion.
That's right.
Oh, no.
And the
Oh,
amendment.
Yeah.
All right, now the Sayers here, they seem to have a reasonable request.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
say they didn't get their bill?
Yeah,
say and that happens sometimes with folks, so,
Yeah.
and they
all right.
have a good.
All right, I'll make the motion to abate their interest. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done? All right. Now, the registration fees, does this mean we can go up in the fees, or we can?
Well, we currently do not charge any fees. We currently could be charging $5 per registration. That law is currently before the legislature to change to go to $10 per registration. But you have to, it's very specific, it's to set it up for a road maintenance capital reserve. And only town meeting can do this, so we would be talking about doing it for 2018. We'll continue to watch the legislation
It's in committee
and,
now again.
and bring it up. We'll put it in a tickler file to put it on the warrant for next year if you want to. I just wanted to make you aware of it
Okay.
and
I'm not in
And if
favor
it's-
of doing it. One, it doesn't come close to covering the
No, no,
cost
no,
of road
right.
repair.
right.
And number two, you stick it in that, and at $5 that's non-tax deductible, you put it in the tax rate, it's tax deductible at least.
And that's
Okay.
fine.
All right,
I
that's a
just,
good point.
it,
And you said it would raise $6,800
about
at $5?
$6,900 at $10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at
At
$10.
At $10, it
So
would be 60.
can you maintain all the roads for $6,800?
How about one small one that's not used very much?
Which one?
All right, so let's, based on Bill's comment, let's table that for a while.
Okay,
and
good.
Yeah,
Just
I
know
that's
it's in our
fine.
back pocket if we ever need it.
Yeah.
Yep, nope, that's fine.
Okay. Now, the Northern Borders Regional Commission Grant Letter of Intent.
So we, as I put in the memo, we have our application into the National Endowment for the Arts. They've been zeroed out in the federal budget. But worse than that, all of their existing grant monies for 2017 were also have been zeroed out.
So it's
So-
completely gone?
Well,
So they
it's zero-
sent us-
what I had
Potentially.
read was they implied that if there's a continuing resolution,
That's right.
technically they might
They
get some money
might
back.
get it back, but obviously all of their grant applications are on hold. So I don't
Right.
anticipate that we will get the NEA grant, which is what was approved at town meeting.
Right.
So this Northern Borders Regional Commission does have grant money for 2017. There are funds in there for infrastructure, construction monies, and those monies, the grant application due date is June 2nd, and they have an awarding date of August 31st. So they will be making a decision this summer on the monies that they already have set
And the
aside.
money comes, this is, whose money is this? Federal, state?
It's federal money that goes to the 4 states, and then the governors of the 4 states, Vermont, New York, New Hampshire, and Maine, get together with this commission, and they award the grants to organizations in each of the states.
Okay. Is it the
So-
governor or the executive council in
The
New Hampshire?
governor. The governor sits on the commission.
So that could put us in a bad situation.
Well,
where
it could.
He can't give us the money.
But it could, he gets input from the state, Office of Economic Development, and so, it's at least as good as our chances with the NEA.
Right, but
and
what's our
and we're-
authority relative to the warrant article that was signed? Can we legally do that?
You can accept, you have been given authority to accept unanticipated grant funds. And DRA said last year that you had the authority to spend, if the grant was not approved, right, the NEA grant,
Yeah,
that you had the authority to spend the money that we appropriated from the fund balance. So you could combine, we could get the same amount of money from Northern Borders that we were gonna get from NEA, and you still have authority to spend the $60,000. The appropriation was made.
what kind of grants has this Northern Borders thing in the past given out?
They've given out everything from water and sewers to roads to new buildings to land, conservation land purchases, anything that is related to economic development and infrastructure. So they have given grants as large as $250,000. And we would be asking for
75.
75, but that is 60,000 from the approval
Right.
from
Right.
town meeting, and the other part of that, the other 15,000 would be matched with in-kind work, because if Jim and the road crew do work along
Yeah.
the pond as part of this, we can count their work as our match. So we actually can make this project a little bit bigger under Northern Borders, and we can get more work done around the pond.
I say let's just send it in and see what happens.
I mean, we're gonna
Because
use
if we
the
do have-
same,
If that mechanism is in fact what you're saying it
Yeah.
is, then there's really no real downside to do this.
I mean, they just tell us no,
Yeah, and if they tell us no, they might tell us why no,
that's right.
so it's an exercise.
Well, the Northern Borders Grant, here, what we're doing is we're saying, okay, it's signs, you know, and we're saying these signs are gonna result in economic development here in town?
Well,
It's the
yes, they're
sign-
looking at business retention and improvement. We are doing the trail system around Corcoran's Pond. We're doing the signage, we're doing the wayfinding for all of our
Wayf-
businesses in town. Right,
Wayfinding and
because-
signage in the
And-
SE marketing report was
Was a major
was a
issue.
major thing as far as building and enhancing the guest experience, which enhances the business.
And the entrance to town was
Yeah.
another thing that they found
Right.
in their surveys, people don't even know that our businesses are here. So the entrance to town, the wayfinding signs, the trail signs, the trail improvement, and the bikes and pedestrian.
And when do we expect to hear from these folks?
They will have decisions on the grants by August 31st.
I'm surprised the federal funds for this haven't been cut.
Well, no, so far they haven't been. So, I mean,
They haven't
there's
said
no
they
guarantee.
haven't been cut.
Well, that's right, and then they could be cut tomorrow, so, but at least we have the letter of intent in. We can make a decision on applying by June 2nd, talk about it in May before we submit the application, and if you decide not to apply, we
Would
won't.
they, is it possible they would give you a partial grant?
As small as our application, I mean, the people who were at the workshop I went to on Monday, they're asking for $200,000-300,000 grants. Their projects are $500,000 to $750,000. So I don't think we would get a partial grant on 75,000. We're gonna be probably the smallest grant application they get.
It's the governor that actually
It's a
picks these.
council, it's a council of all 4 governors and their economic development folks in
There's
all
no
4
way
states.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick Waterville Valley.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what, when he
I
said
mean,
governor,
they
it
would,
just
they would just,
crucify.
they
He
would send
tweeted that he
them
was
hang 'em.
skiing and they wanted to.
I
I mean,
pick him up.
that's right.
Well, it's not, it is our governor, but it is all of the governors.
Well,
It is not.
yeah, but they're gonna hang him by his toenails if he does this.
Okay, then
Well,
he'll say no.
then I
Then
think we should
what
probably
is-
sign.
We're not putting any additional work into this application. It's the same application
Yeah.
that we used for the NEA.
Are we putting them in an awkward position?
Oh, okay, if you don't wanna do it because of that, then
Well-
that's a different
Well,
discussion.
every other governor that is there is going to have projects from their state as well.
But
Yeah.
there's a
Being
difference between
proposed.
state and family-owned business town. There's a little,
We do not have to.
When does this have to be
we do
in
not
by?
have to- June
June
2nd.
all right, let's table this for now. I'll send Chris an email. And
Okay.
ask him if that would put him in a compromising situation. Do you think that's the way to proceed?
Yeah, I think I would ask, I mean, we're
Sure.
putting them in a difficult situation, I don't know why we wanna do that. I mean, because I would think the probability of getting this is down in the single digits at best. 1% chance, 2% chance.
Yeah,
And, it's like the endowment to the arts,
Yeah.
I didn't think there was any probability of getting that. I mean,
We are trying to find a way
To
to
get
I hear you.
do this, get this started.
yeah.
And we are getting complaints from people, why did we spend $90,000 if we're not gonna do anything? And so we're trying to find a way to fund it.
Well, I'm wondering whether we should just decide to fund it.
And that, we are working on that with the town core working group on the 20th, that's what the meeting is
Okay.
about. Or 21st, sorry. So, yeah, we're just, I think, asking the governor and seeing what he says.
Yeah, all right.
But we do need the answer before,
Next week, you and I will work on that.
we
Remind me.
won't,
Oh,
because I
you-
won't be here.
I will work on it next week.
Okay, but we do need to get the LOI
Yes, by June first.
by April,
Oh, I just asked
April
when you
30th.
have the letter of
well,
intent. in.
the letter of intent is by April 30th. The
I-
grant application
Let's
is-
send the letter of intent anyways, and
Okay.
then we can see about doing the grant
Right.
application.
Yeah, we don't have to we
Okay.
don't have to
I'll make the
follow
motion
that.
to send the letter of intent.
Okay.
Do I have a second on that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Okay.
understand what you're saying, Bill, we need to ask.
Okay. Old business, the Homeland Security Grant.
Mhm.
And we are getting helmets, goggles, plate carriers. I won't read the whole list because I know. All this stuff, Chris, can you throw this is good stuff for us?
Yeah, it's a statewide initiative,
Yeah.
for EMS in the warm zone.
And this gives you guys bags of stuff that would,
Yeah, for our EMS personnel to go into a warm zone, situation, and it will be shared with, other local communities.
yeah. Okay, anybody, Margaret, any questions? Bill?
No, this is costing us nothing.
Correct.
Right. All right, great. Do we have to make a motion to accept
To
this?
accept that money
someone like to make
for
that
that
motion?
I
purpose.
will make a motion that we accept the Homeland Security grant.
And is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Correspondence. NEA notice on,
Yep, so we're not,
Yeah.
no money there.
yeah, all right.
Well, what,
Unless
if
the
a continuing resolution does get approved,
Mhm.
there's a chance they would have funds for this
That's
year,
right.
right?
That's right.
Okay.
And I think it's going to come down to, because NEA is not the only ones, USDA, where we get all the rural development
Yeah.
money, all of that money is going away, every dollar.
Well,
In-
it is on a list.
It's on a
that
list.
That the president submitted that says, I wanna cut these budget funds. That doesn't mean that
Well,
that's
and
gonna
that's what
happen.
I'm saying, the congressional
Yeah.
folks need to understand that it's a lot more than just our
Well,
trails
they
around
haven't passed the
Corcoran's
budget
Pond.
so long
Yeah,
that everything is on a continuing resolutions. It's just all they seem to be able to pass, and continuing resolutions basically say you get what you got last year.
right. But I am, it's more infrastructure money than just
Right.
a bunch of trail money. It's
Yeah.
like all of these water and sewer projects that are critical for smaller communities to be able to do them they're all on the chopping
We could
block.
probably get a section of the wall though if we asked.
It may be, could get a little plaque that says town of Waterville. So, yeah. So,
Well, we do have a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. We need a wall.
on TV. Oh, goodness gracious, that's.
It's all said in fun.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and the local officials workshop,
Yep, just those dates are
And
available.
what's the workshop for?
The workshop is for selectmen, new and old. They give you updates. There are some topics there, on the list that they, talk about. But it's basically just a local officials workshop to bring you guys together
it's
with
being
other
held where?
selectmen.
closest one is what, Sugar Hill?
Closest one is Sugar Hill. Yep.
Okay.
So if you are interested in going, just let myself or Sharon know, and
Oh, I see.
we can get you signed up. Town pays for
It's free.
the,
It's free.
yes, but we'll pay you even mileage if you want it. Totally up to you.
Okay,
We don't expect you to go by yourself in the policy,
okay.
unless you want to, but just let us know.
All right, excellent.
Okay, we'll do.
Privilege of the floor number 2. Anything come to you, Rich? Okay.
Fourth, I'm not here.
Board concerns and directives. Okay, anything for non-public?
I do have, I just wanna update you on
Okay,
one thing.
great, well, we will,
Oh, and there is a golf tournament
yes, the
for
chamber.
the chamber, so I've got the flyer here if
Yep.
you wanna participate.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
Yeah, let us know. Thanks, Rich.
I will not be here.
I think I will probably be playing. If I put a team together, you wanna play in the chamber?
Is it
The 24th.
of,
Raining.
I'll talk to you more.
yeah, I
Uh,
think so. Let me see, make sure I'm here, the 24th of May. There's the selectmen's
It's a
meeting that
Wednesday.
day.
It's a Wednesday.
There is a
Oh,
selectmen's
okay,
meeting
well, we'll
that day.
have to look at our priorities. All right, so we are,
And you're not here.
I'm not here that day.
so we are non-public, everything off?